Aha. Welcome. All right, welcome. So the poll is all set right now, and for those who are joining us, welcome to Hello Marvy series. All right, so to get started, I already started with the poll, and today is episode 6 of our Hello Marvy series. So, for those who are joining, hi, it's so nice to have you all here. All right, so this story, it was sent in anonymously, and when I read it, I was like, nah, this cannot be real. But the way it was written, it was too detailed, too human, and a bit embarrassing. So if this is your story, just know we love you. So let's get into it. So it begins. Hello, Marvy. Please keep this anonymous because I still think randomly about this and cringe smile to myself. So this happened on a random Saturday afternoon at a busy mall. Already a red flag. Mall stories are never end well. Mall stories never end well. No, they don't. Alright, it continues. I had just finished doing what I came for and decided to sit down near one of those open seating areas. You know, the kind, people walking everywhere, noise, chaos, vibes. I sat down, brought out my phone, and I was just minding my business. Minding your business is always when trouble finds you. Like, that is when the trouble would want to find you. Oh, let me see. For those who are joining, hi. You can say hi in the chat and I'll be sure to give you a shout out. All right. So it continues. Then suddenly, someone waved at me. Not a small wave, a confident wave. Chat, when someone waves confidently at you, your spirit knows that you're in danger, because if the person is waving at you like I know you, hello kind of thing, it can be kind of I don't know how to put it. It can be kind of awkward, especially if it's when you did not expect it. Thank you, Healing with Mama Love. Thank you so much. It's so nice to have you here. So the person continues. I froze because my first thought was, oh no, do I know this person? So I did that thing where you look behind you to check if they are waving at someone else. We all do that fake look behind you check, alright? It's something that happens to us every now and then. So the person continued that they were waving at me, smiling, walking closer. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Before I could even say anything, they said, "Wow, you don't even recognize me anymore." Ha ha, cha 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 cha. This sentence alone, when you meet someone, like the person says, "Hello, don't you recognize me?" And your mind just goes blank because you're like, exactly who is this? And the person is like, "Don't you recognize me?" Especially when you do not expect to see that person. So at this point, my brain shut down because instead of saying, "Sorry, I think you've mistaken me for someone else," I laughed. Why do we laugh when we are confused? Like, seriously. The person still continued that I said, "No, no, no, I recognize you." I did not recognize them. Lie number one has entered the chat. I recognize you when you don't even recognize the person. All right, we have some votes in the poll. Thanks so much for the support. How's your day going? If it's going awesome, you can give it in the option. You can choose that option. So let's know in the chat how your day is going. And if you want to say something in the chat, you're free to do so, but let's be respectful, all right? Okay, the story continues. They smiled and said, "Wow, you've really changed." And I nodded, like someone who knew what they were talking about, not the nod of agreement. Then they sat down right next to me. Why did they sit? Why did they sit? They started talking like we are old friends. "Remember that day? You were so funny then. I can't believe we're running into each other like this." Remember what day? Which day? You say you don't know the person, so the person is trying to start a conversation with you. Which day are we talking about? You know, the moment lie number one entered this chat, I was like, something is going to be off right here. At this point, I was replying with the same "Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Time flies." These are survival responses, chat. You guys, if this type of situation, this is you lied and you're trying to cover up for the lie with another lie and another lie and another lie, just like that. But at this point, it is not going to be all right, especially when you know that you don't know the person and the person is like, "Hi, don't you recognize me?" Like, type the safe words if you've ever done this. Like, if you've ever tried, like, trying to cover up for something and you're like, "Wow, yeah, it's true," when you know it's not true. Then they asked, the story continues, then they asked, "Are you still doing that thing?" "What thing?" I said, "Not as much as before." They looked impressed. Impressed by nothing. Like, what did you do? Then another person joined us and they also greeted me. "Excuse me?" Wow. This new person said, "Wow, look at you." And I realized something horrible. They all thought I was someone else. Like, Chad, this is a movie. First is the first person that comes to you, then another person. But instead of correcting them, I stayed. Why did you stay? Why didn't you say, "I am not the person you think I am"? You're turning it into an action movie. I stayed because now it was too late. Too many people. Too much eye contact. Too much commitment. This is social anxiety in HD level. Like, why did you not say at first that you are not the person? Why did you have to go out and state, "I'm the one," when you are not the one? Ah! So eventually, someone said something that exposed everything. They said a name that was not mine. Oh no. I laughed awkwardly and said, "People still call me that sometimes." The lie is evolving. The lie is evolving. Like, seriously, first you claim to be someone that you're not, and then they call you by a name. You're stating it's your name. Like, seriously, why would you want to keep it up with this story? Why not just come clean for once? There was a there was silence. Then one of them squinted at me and said, "Wait, you're not who I thought you were." Cut in 4K. I apologized, explained, but everyone laughed, but I left the mall immediately. Yeah, at least you left the country in your spirit. So, till today, anytime I see confident waving, I pretend my phone is ringing. Lesson learned. It has been learned, like, seriously. But if it were you guys, chat, would you have corrected them early or stayed? Like, sometimes it does happen, people tend to look alike. If you were the one and you were in the mall and someone's like, "Hey," and you know that you don't know the person, would you have corrected them and like, "No, I'm not the person you think"? Like, what would you have done in that situation? Hi, Gabriella, how are you doing? Like, what would you have done? And do you think that this person would like confessed earlier, or you would have just stayed there? Like, what would you have done in that situation? Because as it is, the way I see it, it could have been easier if the person had just stated, "I'm sorry, you're talking to the wrong person." Like, it happens. Nothing would have been, the only thing that would happen would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry for that." But at least no lies, no nothing, because all of this was kind of a bit uh a plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. It was all too confusing at this point, all right? But at least the good thing about all of this is that in the end they found out it's not the person. And for who sent this anonymously, just know we love you. And for everything that came out at the end, at least everything turned out all okay. It didn't go farther than that. So thanks so much for sharing this with us as well. All right, let me see. For those who are joining, hi, and thanks so much for the votes. The votes that were given in. Thanks so much for that as well. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I just want to be sure that I'm not missing any of your chats. So, that was sent anonymously by the first one. For the other stories in Hello Marvy series, for those who are watching, you'll notice that they are all sent anonymously. Alright, and the last ones that I've shared so far with you all, it is shared with permission, all of them, so that we can all enjoy the story without any privacy spilled or anything like that. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So there is this one that was sent. Yet another one that happened to be sent to me, and it was about the locker disaster. So I read this and I was like, okay, this is kind of a school kind of thing that can happen, and it's a very, very relatable, especially if you have a locker in school. Some will carry theirs with bag and all that, but if you have a locker in school, then you can relate to this. So it states, "Hey Marvy, okay, today was the worst locker experience of my life." What could have gone wrong? Like, I'm still shaking thinking about it. So I walk up to my locker, feeling confident. You know, the usual morning, backpack ready, supplies ready, perfectly aligned pens. I type in my combination, twist, pull, push, nothing, nada, zip. The locker is not opening. Okay, at this point you may be wondering whether you typed in the wrong combination. Like, that's what I would think at the first point. At first, I think, okay, maybe I just need to try again. I try again, still nothing. Panic starts creeping in. Like at this point, I would be sweating if I were in your shoes. My backpack is heavy, my hands are slippery, and my brain is screaming, don't embarrass yourself, especially if it's in the hallway. It can be kind of very, very, very embarrassing. Then I look behind me, a line of students waiting. Some are rolling their eyes, some are giggling, and one person is filming. Why do people like filming embarrassing situations? Why? I try to whisper, it's fine, I got it, but I'm practically yelling. I twist the knob again and it moves a little, but then it sticks. My arms are shaking. Like, why would someone want to do that type of thing? The part of someone actually um, filming in this type of situation is not funny. Hi, Herbert Code Official. Nice to have you here. I twist the knob again and it moves a little, but then it sticks. My arms are shaking. I'm basically wrestling a metal. Like, imagine talking to this locker and say, you shall not pass. Like the locker is like, you shall not pass. Like at this point you'll be sweating because you'll be wondering, did I put any wrong combination or what? So the person continues, I take a deep breath, pull with all my might, and finally pop. The locker opens halfway. It could be that maybe it's jammed. It could be like that. Not fully. I nearly fell backwards, holding my books like a human shield, and the people behind me laughing, whispering, probably tweeting about it. I this is especially part of filming. That kind is kind of awkward when someone is filming, especially when you are struggling with someone and someone is filming you at that moment. It can be kind of embarrassing. So the person states, and they continue. I try to grab my notebook quickly and back away, but my backpack gets stuck. One strap caught in the door, and now I'm flying like a cartoon character. I finally free it and stumble into the hallway. My pride completely destroyed, my arms sore, my face bright red. Only you at this point, I would really, really kind of feel sorry, like really. And of course, my little sibling who was visiting school today, it must be that day, right? Okay. Don't know why, somehow appears out of nowhere and films the entire thing. First is a student that is filming, and then is your sibling that is filming. Chat, I think that video will haunt me forever. Moral of the story. The person put a moral of the story. Lockers are powerful. Like this morals lesson, I think it's just a trend that some have added in the Hello Marvy series. This one says, moral of the story, lockers are powerful. They test your strength, patience, and ability to survive public embarrassment. And sometimes, no matter how prepared you are, the locker will always win. Like seriously, chat, these lockers, they are like tiny metal boxes, but sometimes they can be testing your patience. If you're not patient, it can test it. Like my friend walks in, combo in hand, backpack, pencils, everything, and you're opening with your combination. It doesn't open, it's just jammed. And thinking that you're ready for a normal day of school, but they did not have it. The combination just did not work. Nothing works at this point. Like seriously, at this point, it is not going to be easy, especially if it happens to be a long school day. Like if it's a Monday or Friday, or maybe just a long day for you. Like chat, have you ever had this locker trap? Like maybe for more than 5 minutes, you're trying all kinds of combinations, your password, it's not working. Like that kind of thing can really, really, really affect the entire day, especially if it happens that you have your books, everything is in your hand, unless maybe if you're having this timetable, and then you just carry the books you need. But in some cases, everything is always written in, kept in the locker, because if you keep it at home, they may change the timetable and all of that. So, but in their case, the locker did not open. The one of mine is not a password combination, it's more of a padlock. So you just have the key unless you forget the key. So don't forget the key. So is that would be the moral lesson if it's the padlock. But in this case is the combination. I think it was just jammed and it needed some help. That's it. So for the first one who mentioned the mall incident of when someone imagined that they were um, someone else that they were not, and then another person that imagined that they were, well, what's it again, the name in the mall, they imagined that they were maybe someone else, maybe their schoolmate or classmate, and then figure out that they are not the one. That one was more of not, that one was just more of being honest. From what I got so far, that's just what I could take as the lesson learned. Not lying at all, because that would just mean to adding more lies to cover the first lie, and that would not really help at all. And then the other one of this that we just read together, where it has to do with a locker being jammed. It could be that maybe as it's jammed, so we'll just need to get someone that will help us to open it, to unlock it, because at that point when you are struggling with it, especially if it's in the hallway, maybe before classes begin, it can be kind of awkward though. Yeah. So I've seen some votes in our poll. That's so nice. So some voted awesome, some voted not good. For those who voted not good, don't worry. Hopefully the rest of the day may turn out to be much better. And for those who commented awesome, who voted it, that's so great to hear it. I hope you also continue to enjoy the rest of your day. So this is how we come to the end of Hello Marvy series for today. For those who are watching, it's so nice to have you here. All right. So thank you all so much for joining today's session. If you laughed, thanks for laughing with us. If you could relate, just know you're not alone. And if you have a story you would like to share with us, my inbox is still open, all right? So till next time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Mwah.